Grand Rising, happy Monday. This is not in the right place. I guess that'll do. What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. It is Monday already. Hope you guys all had a beautiful weekend. I had a lovely weekend with friends and family. Hi to everybody that's joining. I'm in the process of getting my shit together health-wise. So it's been a challenging week health-wise, but I went to my energy healer this weekend, which was great, and just getting all the supplements that I actually need. And strangely, I spoke to one of my dear friends. Gar, I'm good to go for 11 o'clock today. One of my dear friends, Dale, and we were talking about health, nutrition, all kind of things. And I'm like, I'm just not feeling healthy. And this is nutritional. This has been a nutritional issue for a very long time. So when you manifest the puzzle pieces of things, they just show up. And I've been vegetarian since I was 10 years old and vegan since I was, well, how many years have I been vegan? 15? Probably like 15 years vegan. And I've always had different health challenges for that long. And we were talking on the phone, and you're just guided to the right place when you're asking for the right answers. And I haven't had a meat product since I was 10 years old. 10. So he said, you need to eat beef liver. If you're not going to eat actual beef liver, try the supplement. And for the first time in my life, I've been open to things that can really help me. Things that have high nutritional value. I have never been good with food, right? So I'm trying to manifest what the right things are for me. So eggs was one of those things. But I have a weird thing with eggs, but I started to eat them again. And again, this is all with us manifesting, like what is the greatest, or what is great for us? What is going to give us the best quality of life? Whether it's an abundance of food or it's showing you different things. Like I always want to ask questions and then bring the answers to me. Have the answers magnetized to me when I ask for what are the right things that my body needs. So raw eggs and beef liver are the most dense. Buckle if you can do it. So I was like, I cannot even think about physically eating beef liver. So I'm going to order supplements. I don't know if I'll take them, but I'm going to order them so that I have them. So I found this organic beef liver supplement, and it's only beef liver and from free raising, no hormones added, the whole nine, because I'm really insane about things like that. And they came here, and I first sprinkled it on Leo's little breakfast in the morning, and he went insane. He loved it. So I was like, okay, Leo loved it. And I couldn't have manifested a dog that is more like his mother than Leo. And he doesn't eat, he'll turn his nose to anything if he's not in the mood for it and he doesn't want it. So I tried beef liver the other day. I put the pill in my mouth and I'm like, I don't know. And I didn't know how my body's going to react. My body hasn't had a meat product since I was 10 years old. So that's a very long time. So I said, took the pill, put it in my mouth. You're supposed to take like 5 or 6 of them. I only took one. I've only been taking one for the last 3 days. So I took one beef liver pill, put it in my mouth. And as I was putting it in my mouth and as I was drinking water to swallow it, I said, thank you so much for all the nutrition and nutrients that this supplement is giving me. It works perfectly with my body, right? Someone said body needs meat. So there's all different things. I don't think that I will ever go back to eating meat because I never liked it. I never could understand like eating the flesh of an animal. In pill form, it's very different for my mind. So this is a very, very big step. But it's something that I asked for. I asked the universe, like, what is it that my body needs? And surely enough, got a text from my friend Dale, or I text him, and then we got on the phone. We were on the phone for 3 hours and we were talking about everything. And I was like very convinced that my body needs My body needs these type of nutrients right now for whatever reason, because I have not been feeling good. The patches have been helping me tremendously with repairing things in my body, but this has been for a very, very long time for me. So I just wanted to bring that in, and the importance of manifestation when it even comes to what does your body need? What does your mind need? What kind of people are you supposed to be having in your life? You can ask all these questions to the universe and you can get the answers. So today I'm reading from Local Vord, Local Fruits and Veggies and Local Meat. Okay, so I'm reading from The Power of Awareness and Feeling is the Secret by Neville Goddard today. Chapter 9, Preparing Your Place. Okay? Preparing your place. All is yours. Do not go seeking for that which you are. Appropriate it, claim it, and assume it. So again, this is all going back to the mind. This is all going back to the mind. All is yours. Do not go out into the three-dimensional world seeking for that which you are. Appropriate it, claim it, and assume it. And these are all things of the mind. To claim what you are mentally, and then you will see it in your physical reality. Everything depends on your concept of yourself. So we've talked about self-concept. For anybody that has not been on these lives before, we are talking about how to manifest your best life, and it all starts with your consciousness. It starts with the subconscious mind. And your concept of yourself, your self-concept, is the most important thing in manifestation. I was listening to Bruce Lipton over the weekend, and he was talking about your wishes and desires are not in harmony with your subconscious mind. As much as we might think that it is, as much as we might pretend to be what we want to assume to be, our wishes and desires are not in harmony with the subconscious programming. Okay? So once we talk about the subconscious programming, is the programming from when we were children. The programming that is something that could have been a traumatizing event. That could then cause a subconscious program to always be fearful of something over and over and over again until you start to do the reprogramming of the subconscious mind. So your self-concept is what you truly think about yourself. Most people, including myself, if I was anywhere, if I was at a seminar and I was asked a question like, well, what do you think about yourself? I would say, or I'm just saying in general, people would say, I'm happy, I'm a confident person, you would start naming all these positive things. And that's great to think that we are in that space, but what is the actual programming that runs us? When we think about a relationship, when we think about the home that we live in, when we think about the job that we have, if we're unhappy in these areas, the chances are is that our self-concept is that of a very negative one. So if 95% of our day is run by our subconscious mind, and 70% of that programming is considered negative, what do you think that your reality is going to be? Probably not what you want, which is the desire or the state of the wish fulfilled. So that's why it's saying everything depends on your concept of yourself. Because if you don't believe that you deserve a beautiful, safe home, if you don't believe that you should have a car that gets you safely somewhere, if you don't believe that you are loved or that you are chosen, if you believe, I'm always left, this person always abandons me, or I'll never find the person that I want, I'm so unlucky in life. If you have these type of beliefs, that is your self-concept. If you go to a store and you want to buy something and your mind tells you, you can't afford that right now, don't even think about it, put it back. If you have these type of belief systems, that is what your true self-concept is. It's not the things that you want to be. If someone's asks you, what do you believe about yourself? Oh, I'm confident, I believe that I'm attractive and all these things. Okay, well, how is your life in relationships? How is your profession? What's the home that you live in? What do you think about when you see beautiful things? Do you think like, oh, I can have that, I'm going to buy that, or I appreciate that so much, or do you take things for granted? What is your self-concept? And once people understand their concept of self, what the subconscious mind thinks all day long, like if you were abandoned as a child, or if your parents didn't give you the love that you deserved as a child, 9 times out of 10 or 10 times out of 10, you are going to manifest relationships your entire life that reflect that, whether it's a friendship, whether it's a romantic partner, no matter what it is, you're going to, a boss at your job, you are going to manifest people that reflect your self-concept, that are reflect the things that have happened to you as a child. Those are the programmings that run all of us in our supercomputer that is known as the subconscious mind. So once you change your concept of self or your self-concept, your world starts to change. Whosoever hath, to him it shall be given, and he shall have more abundance. But whosoever has not, from him shall be taken away even that which he seemed to have. This is from Matthew 25:29. Whosoever has, to him it shall be given. So whosoever has in the mind what you truly want, to him it shall be given, because you are living those moments in your mind as if they're already yours. You are living those moments in your mind as if you are truly experiencing them. And when you are truly experiencing them in your mind, when you go into your mind's eye, when you do your meditations and you're thinking about the scenario that you want, your subconscious mind doesn't know if you're truly experiencing that or if you're not. So if that's the case, if you're watching a really scary movie, or if you're watching the news and it's showing really graphic things, your mind does not know if you are truly experiencing that in reality or if you're just perceiving it to be true. So if that is the case, that is how the subconscious mind is programmed, by constantly watching the same things over and over again, just like COVID. All day long, they just on loop, all day long, they play it over and over again because they're programming the subconscious mind. When you are watching television or you're scrolling on your phone, you go into a different brainwave frequency. And that brainwave frequency is what is most impressionable for your subconscious mind. So the reason repetition is so important with propaganda is because it sinks into the subconscious mind, because the subconscious mind remembers things based on repetition. It's just like your ABCs. How did you learn your ABCs? Repetition. You'll never forget your ABCs as long as you live. You'll never forget how to drive a car as long as you live, because it's repetition, repetition, repetition. Even if you're driving to and from the same job every single day, eventually you go in, it's your subconscious mind that's driving, and you just get to work and you're like, wait, what? I don't even remember driving to work, because your subconscious mind is an autopilot. And it gets you to where you have to go because it is impressioned in your subconscious mind or your supercomputer. And the point of the news is to prove it's true through falsehoods. It's to prove it's true through repetition. If people hear things enough, they will believe it to be true. Just like every single thing that happened with this pandemic. People hear it enough. You can give a person the absolute facts about this experiment. You can have the CDC telling them, oops, we made a mistake. These are actually extremely dangerous. Those people will not believe you. Those people will not even believe what they're reading, because the subconscious mind is programmed to believe something else. And it's very scary. That is why it's so important to have a really, really strong self-concept, so that you cannot easily be manipulated and you know what your reality is or can be, because we create our reality through our thoughts. Our thoughts create. Sorry, just reading. Okay. Did I skip a page? No. Hold fast in your imagination to all that is lovely and of good report. For the lovely and good are essential in your life if it is to be worthwhile. Assume it. Whatever it is that you want, assume it to already be true. You do this by imagining that you already are what you want to be and already have what you want to have. Some people will call that delusion. Other people that know the way that the subconscious mind works know that what you think you become. So if you spend all of your time in your day thinking from the space of already having that which you want to have, it eventually shows up in your reality, in the three-dimensional reality. You assume it into existence. It is called the law of assumption. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Be still and know that you are what you desire to be, and you will never have to search for it. In spite of your appearance of freedom or action, you obey, as everything else does, the law of assumption. Whatever you may think of the question of free will, the truth is your experience throughout your life are determined by your assumptions, whether it's conscious or unconscious. Shit. The truth is your experiences throughout your life are determined by your assumptions, whether it's a conscious thought or it's totally unconscious. What is unfolding in your three-dimensional reality is a result of what you assume to be true. How many of us assume to be true negative things? Whether you're conscious of it or unconscious, because the subconscious programming is 70% of it is negative, 90% of our day is run by the subconscious mind, or 95%. So if that's true, what is on your computer? What is on your computer? What is playing all day long on your computer is what is going to happen in your reality. An assumption, when you plant that assumption, whether it's good or bad, builds a bridge of incidents in your life that lead inevitably to the fulfillment of itself. So if you constantly think about, oh my God, I'm going to get fired from my job. I know I'm going to get fired from my job. What am I going to do? I should look for another job. Like, I feel like I'm going to get fired. I'm going to get laid off. Like, what am I going to do? And you constantly, that feels real to you because you're nervous about it and you don't know what's going to happen in your life and how am I going to pay my bills and what's going to happen to my house and my car payments and all these things. That then becomes real to you based on your assumptions. Even though you don't realize you're manifesting, you are. So when you are sitting there thinking of the negative thoughts, there's a feeling in the pit of your stomach that really gives you that fearful feeling. That is living in the state of the wish fulfilled. So when you're in the state of the wish fulfilled, even though you don't want this to be your reality, you think feelingly, you think with your feelings. So when you think feelingly, that is how you manifest, even though you don't know you're doing that. So if you're like, oh my God, I know I'm going to get sick. I'm around all these people. I know I'm going to get sick. And maybe you don't even realize that you're dwelling on these things. But that becomes a state of the wish fulfilled. Not because you want it to be fulfilled, but because that is the state where you live. That is the state where your mind is always being afraid that something bad is going to happen. So an assumption, when you assume something, it builds a bridge of incidents to make these things happen without us even understanding or knowing how or why this happened. You're like, see, I knew that this was going to happen to me. I knew I was going to get sick. I knew I was going to fall down that steps because that crack was there. These are all bridges of incidents. These are all living in the state of the wish fulfilled, even if you don't want that to be your wish fulfilled. If you have a negative self-concept, you're constantly manifesting things by assuming them to be real. You're assuming them into your existence. Good or bad, your subconscious mind does not give a shit if you are being negative or positive. Your subconscious mind is just like a magic genie. It does what you tell it to do. Even though you're not consciously telling it, I'm going to get sick. I'm going to get sick. You don't realize what you're doing. Guys, I don't care about Q right now. I'm not talking anything about Q at all. Man believes the future to be the natural development of the past. But the law of assumption clearly shows that this is not the case. Your assumption places you psychologically where you are not physically. I'll say that again. Your assumption places you psychologically where you are not physically. So if you're assuming, I know that she's cheating on me, like I know she's going to leave me, like I know something's going on, I just have this feeling that something's going on, you are assuming that into existence. You are assuming that into existence. Your assumption places you psychologically where you are not already physically. But then you're going to be there physically because you're assuming it psychologically. Then your senses pull you back from where you're blah, blah, blah. It is these psychological forward motions that produce your physical forward motions in time. Precognition permeates all the scriptures of the world. Now, this is a really good quote. I don't really care. So now you're going to get blocked because people are so annoying. Like, why do people have to come and disrupt someone else's live at 9:30 in the morning? Like, you have nothing else better to do. You have nothing else better to do than sit there and tell me about QAnon. Like, come on. Get your shit together. Oh, dear God. So this is a really good quote. In my Father's house are many mansions. Now, if this was me, what's up, Pedro? If this was me reading the Bible before I read any of these books, I would read it and this would mean nothing to me because I would never understand what this quote meant. In my Father's house are many mansions. And we're going to break this quote down. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself. That where I am, there ye may be also. And now I have told you before it came to pass, that when it does come to pass, you might believe. So, the I in this quotation is your imagination. Okay? So I'm going to read the quote again, knowing what this means. The I in this quotation is your imagination, which goes into the future, into one of the many mansions. So when it says, in my Father's house are many mansions, mansion is the state desired. So in my Father's house are many mansions. And my Father's house is talking about the subconscious mind, right? The God or the Father. The Father is our subconscious mind. So in my Father's house are many states of the wish fulfilled. So it's in my Father's house are many mansions. Now these mansions are all the different states of the wish fulfilled that we want. All of our desires. So in my subconscious mind are many mansions. In my subconscious mind are many things that I desire. Right? If it were not so, I, which is the imagination, if it were not so, my imagination would have told you. My imagination goes to prepare a place for you. So my imagination goes to prepare a place for these mansions. So I get to experience these mansions and my mind is preparing all the states of the wish fulfilled. And if my imagination, go and prepare a place for you, my imagination, will come again and receive you unto myself. And then I will receive the states of the wish fulfilled or the many mansions. That where I am, my imagination, there I am also. Because if I'm living, there I am. If I'm living in the state of the wish fulfilled, there I am also. I am living that, so I am becoming that in my physical reality. And now I have told you before it came to pass, and now my imagination or I have told you before it came to pass that when it does come to pass, you will be a believer. So that, when I read that first, I was like, I have no clue what this means. No clue what this means. And then I read afterwards, mansion is the state of the desired. Telling of an event before it occurs physically is simply feeling yourself into the state desired until it has the tone of reality. So if you are doing your meditation or doing your imaginal acts where you are creating a scene of what you truly desire. So if what you truly desire, let's just say it's a beautiful house, and maybe it's a small house, whatever it is for you, and it's decorated exactly as you see it, and you can smell what it smells like in the house. You can see what the lighting is. You can see if there's curtains. You can see if there's rugs. Whatever it is that's in there, you see it, and you're sitting on the couch as if you're actually sitting there. And after you do these imaginal acts, if you're really thinking it feelingly, and you feel that you are in this beautiful home that you created, That is living in the state of the wish fulfilled, and that gives it the tone of reality, so that when you open your eyes, you're like, that was real. I just experienced that. And your subconscious mind does not know if you truly experienced it or if you didn't. So that is how we quote unquote trick our mind into becoming that reality, because we think so much that we actually feel that it was real. Like if you had a really amazing thing happen to you, so say the day you got married or the day your child said its first word, if you go back and think about that, you can see it in your mind as if it's happening right now. And you're thinking feelingly, and then your subconscious mind doesn't know if you truly experienced that or if it was just a thought. So that's how you manifest, by thinking in your mind's eye of the greatest thing that ever happened to you. And it'll take you back immediately to that. You could feel whatever it was that was around you. You can see all the people around you, whatever it was, you can get there immediately. So that's the same thing with manifesting. When you're thinking about things that have not happened yet, you imagine them in your mind as if they already have. So it's the same thing as if you're thinking of a memory or you're thinking of something that you don't yet have in the future. The feelings are the same. You should make an actual post. Okay, I'll do that. Thank you for that. I'll do that. Because most people will never understand these quotes. I would have never understood this quote if I didn't have this book. And if someone's like, here, read the Bible, I'm just like, I don't know what any of this means. There's some things that obviously are easy to understand. But then there's things like this that are not. Okay. Okay, chapter 10, creation. This is from Isaiah 46. I am God, declaring the end from the beginning. This is a fun one to break down. And from ancient times, things that are not yet done. Let me just read these. See, and someone else is saying that this verse is speaking of the kingdom that Jesus is preparing for us. So everyone has their own interpretation of the Bible. And most of those interpretations came from what we were taught. Now, why is it that we just trust blindly the people that have taught us these things? Everything that I've learned in life, I know, has been turned upside down, right? So I am relearning all the things that I have possibly learned in my life. So it's, who is to say that one interpretation is right and one interpretation is wrong? No one. But these make more sense to me than saying that I have to wait for someone to come and save me, or that I need to be saved. I don't believe that any human being came here to be saved other than by them saving themselves. Religion is a man-made construct, and I don't believe in any of the religion. When it comes to the Bible, when it comes to God and the universe, that's different for me. And not because I'm right and you're wrong, or you're wrong and I'm right. It just is a belief. It is just our journey in life. And all of our journeys can be different. It doesn't mean that one person is right or wrong. So from my reading and from my level of awareness, this makes more sense to me than saying that Jesus is coming to save us all, because I don't believe that. So I am God, declaring the end from the beginning. So let's break down. I am God. So God is our consciousness. God is our consciousness. Declaring the end from the beginning. So when you are doing manifesting, you're declaring the wish fulfilled. So that is the end. The state of the wish fulfilled is living from the quote unquote end. Whatever your end is, if your end is a happy marriage, if your end is having 3 kids, if your end is having a beautiful house on the beach, if your end is having a beautiful dog rescue, whatever your end is, declaring, I am God, declaring the end from the beginning. So if our beginning is today, what is your state of the wish fulfilled that you want? That is the end. So if the state of the wish fulfilled is that I'm married with 3 kids, you go into your mind's eye and you think about where it is that you're living, what the bedrooms look like, holding your children, being with a really amazing partner. What is your end? I am God, declaring the end from the beginning and from ancient times, things that are not yet done. So declaring the end from the beginning are things that are not yet done. So if you're living in the state of the wish fulfilled, that is not yet done. So if I'm declaring right now, I have the most amazing, beautiful home that I live in, these are things that are not yet done. I guess we have to block another person. Are you that bored? Fuck. So hopefully, okay, that person's blocked. Yes, I blocked that person. Okay, so this is something that I totally resonate with. Jesus' second coming is Christ consciousness, not him floating from the sky. Now, anybody that believes that, that's great for you. That is just your thought, that is your belief system, that is what you were taught, so that is what you believe. And there are plenty of people that I know that believe that the second coming of Christ is him as a man floating down from the sky. But to me, it is the Christ consciousness. It is people elevating to such a certain high level of consciousness that all of these really negative, nasty things and the evil that has taken over the world for thousands of years no longer ceases to exist. And not because there will only be all good, but it won't look dark as the way that it is now. And that's just my thoughts. Creation is finished. Creativeness is only a deeper receptiveness for the entire contents of all time and all space, while experience in a time sequence actually coexist in an infinite and eternal now. In other words, all that you have ever been or ever will be, in fact, all that mankind ever was or will be, exists now. This is what is meant by creation. And the statement that creation is finished means nothing is ever to be created. It is only to be manifested. So I read that and I was like, holy shit, yes. Nothing is to be created because everything is already finished. It is only to be manifested. So everything that you want right now is already finished. You have to manifest it. You have to find that level or frequency to resonate on in order to be able to receive it. I hope that makes sense to people. What is called creativeness is only becoming aware of what already is. You simply become aware of increasing portions of that which already exists. So once you have that awareness to the things that you want, you realize they already exist. Well, how do I get them? I want them now. Your self-concept, believing that you deserve these things, believing that you're worthy of receiving things or having abundance or happiness. Mostly it all comes down to worthiness with everything. Do you feel worthy of having the life that you truly want to have? Because if the underlying true answer, not the answer that I'd want to hear, not the answer that teacher would want to hear you say, but what is your true feeling about yourself? Do you feel worthy to receive the things that you want? I don't care if you want an ant farm. Do you feel worthy of having an ant farm? It truly comes down to the worthiness, and that is the programming that we have or don't have. You simply become aware of increasing portions of that which already exists. The fact that you can never be anything that you are not already, or experience anything not already existing, explains the experience of having an acute feeling of having heard. This is so much word soup that it's hard for me to even follow this right now. Of having heard before what is being said, or having met before the person being met for the first time, or having seen before a place or thing being seen for the first time. The whole of creation exists in you, and it is your destiny to become increasingly aware of its infinite wonders and to experience ever greater and grander portions of it. So it's like when we have deja vu and you're like, oh my God, I could swear that I was here before, or that I met this person before. All of creation already exists. I'm reading from The Power of Awareness and Feeling is the Secret. It's the 2 most empowering books by Neville Goddard. That's what it says. So The Power of Awareness and Feeling is the Secret. So if everything in creation is already created, We have to find the frequency to resonate on in order to be able to receive it. Very tough manifesting what we want. That's a manifestation. If we believe that manifesting is hard, then manifesting is always going to be hard. But if we say, everything comes manifesting is so easy for me. Every time I manifest something, it comes almost instantly. If we continue to say, I can make $1 million, but it's going to be really hard, I can guarantee you it's going to be really difficult for you to make your $1 million. Whatever you believe is what you get. So if you believe manifesting is hard, guess what? It's going to take way longer than what you probably could have manifested if you believed, if you had the power of belief. Let me just, the power, I should have done this, of awareness and, ooh, look at this, feeling shit is the, hold on now, secret shit. Why did they make it so difficult with this stupid keypad? See, I just manifested that. It's always difficult for me to type. Someone says, I have manifested so many things, but they have taken time. But I have manifested. So, manifesting doesn't happen instantly because we simply want it to. If we're on that frequency of the thing that we want, it's going to come faster. So that is where the time construct comes in. I know time isn't real, so before anybody gets their panties in a bunch. So, if you're not on that frequency or vibration of the thing that you want, it's going to take time for you to get there. But if you are already on that frequency, I am sassy today, oh my God. But if you're already on that frequency, things are going to happen so fast. Like if you're saying like, oh my God, I really want X, Y, and Z, and then the next day it shows up, you're like, wow, that was quick. For whatever reason, you're already on that frequency. But if you think in your mind, how could this possibly be? Like, how am I going to be able to have this? And a million different things have to happen in order for me to have this. You're already delaying your manifestation, whether you know it or not. So if you're thinking, I've done this, I'm like, how is this ever going to be possible? How can this be possible? Because this has to do this, and this has to happen here, and this has to do this. It'll take forever to manifest something that way. But if you just put it out into the universe that I'm going to have this no matter what, and you drop it, you don't obsess over it every day, you don't keep thinking about it and saying like, I have to say my affirmations. If I don't say my affirmations, I'm never going to get it. There are so many things that manifested so much faster for me when I just dropped them. I planted the seed in my dirt, I watered it for a couple days, and I was like, you know what? Whatever, I'm going to have it. It doesn't matter. Just like my car, I manifested my car in one day. It's impossible. You'll never get it. You have to build it yourself. That car doesn't exist. It's going to take a year for you to get the car here from Germany. It's going to take forever. The exact car that I built on the website the night before, I went on to a dealership that was close by. I was like, let me just see if they have any cars. That exact car, baby blue with red interior, who's making that car? Said, arriving soon at this dealership. And I said, you got to be fucking kidding me. I just built this car on the website last night. And there's my mother, Negative Nancy. You're never going to get that car. It's going to take a year for it to get here. The next day, that car showed up because you know why? From when I first saw the car, I was like, that's my car. I'm getting it. I don't care. That's it. It's in my head. That's my car. There's no questions about it. I'm getting that car. That's it. The next day, it showed up. The exact car. I was like, well, that was easy. So if we could just have manifesting experiences like that all the time, I wasn't obsessing over it. I just knew that it was going to happen. So we place different mind constructs on what's big to manifest and what's little to manifest. Like when it comes to a relationship, people put like big things and put that manifestation on a pedestal. Be like, oh, all these things have to happen for me to get this, or a big house, or a certain job. It all depends on what you think of, because it's your thoughts. Is this going to be difficult for me? If I think it's going to be difficult, then it's going to be difficult. But if I'm like, you know what, I got this. That person is mine, or that house is going to be mine. I don't care how many people bid on that house, the house is mine, and you drop it. And all of a sudden you get a phone call, whether it's tomorrow or 3 weeks from now, and like, we had other buyers and it actually fell through, so are you interested in the house? Right? So it all depends on how we think of our manifestation. Do you think that it's going to be something difficult to have? Oh, I need investors, for $2 million. Like, how am I going to do this? I don't even have any money. You're probably never going to get your manifestation. Or if you do, it's going to take forever. But if you say, of course I have the perfect investors for this business. Like, are you kidding me? Everybody wants to invest in this business because they know it's going to be so successful. Someone said, my house, no money yet. Laugh out loud. If you're selling your house and you want to get out of that house so bad, manifest that. Oh my God, I have the perfect buyers for this house. They love this house. They think it's so charming. It's exactly what they wanted. Or, who's ever going to want this house? It's small. There's problems. One person could see, what's that quote? One person's something is one person's treasure. One person's trash is one person's treasure. If you hate your house and like you see all these things wrong, there's somebody that could come into your house and say, oh my God, I love this. It's so cute. Like, I love how old it is. And I can totally see like fixing this up and doing this. It all depends on how you see things. It all depends on how you see things. So I've never owned a home. It's my dream. It doesn't have to be a dream. What affirmations can you say? Are you seeing yourself in that home? Are you seeing yourself with the realtor giving you the keys? But it's the doubt in your mind that's going to stop you from getting it. So there are people that are probably sitting here listening to this saying, sure, I can just think this into existence and it's just going to happen. With that mindset, you'll never manifest anything. But if you believe it to be true, and you just give it a shot and change your mindset from being negative to constantly living in the wish fulfilled and saying like, I got this. Like, I'm going to have this home. I'm going to have this relationship. Whatever it is, I'm going to have these children. Even though the doctor said I'll never have kids. For example, my little sister, she had cancer when she was 18. Nobody thought she was going to live. She was not living, according to any of her doctors, she was not leaving that hospital. 18 years old, had a tumor the size of a football in her chest. The entire width of her chest was a tumor. They never saw a tumor this big in someone 18 years old. At one point, a doctor came in and said, we're lucky if she makes it through the night. My dad threw the doctor out. He said, don't ever come in this hospital room again. And nobody in that hospital thought she was ever going to leave. Let alone have children. She had the highest form of chemotherapy, radiation out the wazoo. And one of her doctors said, or asked her mother, do you want to save her eggs? Because she's never going to be able to get pregnant. Like, the radiation, the chemo, everything is going to destroy any chance of her ever having a baby. And she was only 18 years old, so she didn't really care about it at that point. But also, well, if I want to have kids, like, maybe we should save the eggs. And I don't even know if she was present in that conversation, because once she went in to get a biopsy, she died on the table because the weight of the tumor was so heavy, it crushed her trachea, I'm pretty sure. So she coded a couple times in the hospital. It was insane. So I think her mom made the decision for them to save her eggs. Fast forward all these years, she got married, and then she got pregnant. Her doctors told her she's never going to have a baby. Something in her mindset said, oh my God, I can't wait to have a child. Like, whatever it was that she was thinking allowed her body to produce this healthy, gorgeous, crazy little maniac of a child. And there's the doctors telling her, you'll never be able to have children. You're not going to be able, they didn't even think she was going to live. But talk about a mindset. Yeah, I'm going to get out of this hospital, and yes, I'm going to live a happy, healthy life. So it's all about where your mind is, because how many doctors come in and say, you know what, you have a couple weeks to live, you have a couple months to live, or we just don't see you making it out of this hospital. So even though she's in a coma, the subconscious mind hears everything. So if the doctors were in that room saying like, she's just not going to make it, her subconscious mind could have said, all right, I guess it's time to go. But her subconscious mind had the will to live I watched her deteriorate to 80 pounds. And every day we're just like, how is this going to turn around? Like, how could this possibly turn around? But then we started talking to different people, and they're saying, talk to her tumor and say, thank you for coming. Thank you for teaching her what she needed to learn. And it's okay for you to go now. And she's perfectly healthy. And all that mindset came into be. So it all depends on where our mindset is. Where is our mindset when your odds of having the things you want are so against you, but you still say, I'm going to have this. There's no chance I'm not going to have this. Everything in my life unfolds perfectly for me. So it all depends on how you want to look at your life. If you want to see yourself as the victim or the victor, which one are you going to allow? And if you've been a victim your entire life, there's no time like the present to change. That's up to you. The last year, I've listened to Reprogram the Subconscious Mind tapes every night. Why am I going to waste time? This is how nuts I am. Why would I waste like all of my sleep time by just sleeping? Because the subconscious mind is always works 24/7. It doesn't ever go to sleep. So while I'm asleep, why not utilize that time to reprogram my subconscious mind? To program my mind with the things that I do want, instead of laying there in bed. Everybody does this, and it's the worst time to do it. Lays in bed at night, thinks of all the things going wrong, and then you fall asleep. Your subconscious mind is most impressionable right as you're falling asleep. So if you're falling asleep, thinking about all the bad things that are going on in your life, how am I going to pay this bill? And I hope I get these other jobs because I don't know what I'm going to do. And why did this person say this to me? And, fuck him for doing this. And when you do that, you're manifesting more of that because it's called the state akin to sleep. SATS, S-A-T-S, state akin to sleep. The most important time to manifest is as you're falling asleep. So why not utilize that time by having on reprogramming the subconscious mind tapes while you sleep, so that your subconscious mind is listening to all the things that you want to attract, whether it's love, whether it's money, whether it's a new home, whether it's feeling happy, whether it's healing yourself emotionally, whether it's realigning your chakras, whatever it is, I don't care. It's not name these tapes. There are so many of them. I literally just find, like I'll type in manifesting wealth, for example. There will be a million different ones. I like the ones that have the affirmations because there are subliminal ones or there are frequency ones that reprogramming the subconscious mind with just frequencies, but I prefer ones with affirmations. So let me see if I could find this on here. Oh my God, my nephew was typing in all kind of stuff yesterday. Manifesting, let's just see, money while you sleep. Let's see because I like this one guy actually, and he has like all different ones. Let's see if I could find it. If not, I'll post it on the caption when I post this. No, that's not him. This is him. Elmer O. Locker. I don't know who this guy is, but I just started listening to him and I really like his, he has 174,000 subscribers. So Elmer, E-L-M-E-R. No, I don't listen with headphones. I know that I just listen to it kind of low so I could hear it. So it's on YouTube, Elmer, E-L-M-E-R-O, Locker, like lockers at school, L-O-C-K-E-R Jr. And I really, he's got a lot of really good stuff. Somebody, let me see. Oh, someone asked about my wooden sticks behind me. Those I didn't make. I wish I could take credit for that. I'd be like, yes, I made them. I didn't. Those are from Bali, Indonesia. Most of my, thank you for whoever just typed that. I'll plug that really quick. A lot of my furniture in here is either from estate sales or it's from Indonesia, and that was somewhat of a nightmare to get it here because the furniture was super cheap. Like that was probably $75, but to get it here, it cost almost $4,000, which I was not prepared for that fee. But because of inflation and all the other bullshit, that's what it cost. So the furniture for 9 pieces was less than $800, and the shipping was almost $4,000. So very cool. I believe in this stuff. I once fell asleep listening to someone I've learned a lot from, and I had super powerful dreams that night. So yes, this stuff is not something I just felt like making up and be like, hey guys, just go and think about, whatever, and it'll happen. Like, based on, yes. So all of my furniture, and you'll see like this stuff and the thing behind it. You can't really see the piece behind it, but that is from Barong Bali. Barong Bali furniture. Guys, trust me when I tell you it's a nightmare. I'm not discouraging you from getting it there because they make beautiful stuff. It's all handmade. These are people like shirtless, sitting in dirt, carving this stuff. I'm not even kidding. They make beautiful stuff, but they don't have a shipping. Like, it's like their friend is shipping it. They're like, hey, contact my friend on WhatsApp and he'll ship it for you. It's like, it's kind of crazy. Okay, guys, I got to run because I have to get on a Zoom call. But I will repost this, and I hope that it was helpful and that we get our shit together so we can manifest all the things that we want. So love you all lots. Thank you so much for listening. And if you have any questions about anything, send me a DM. Also, retreat. I have to plug my retreat because I'm so proud of it. I'm so excited for it. Having a retreat March 22nd to the 23rd. There are some tickets left in TULUM, Mexico. It is at a beautiful place. It is all inclusive. So all of your organic meals are included. The retreat is included, and your beautiful hotel stay is included. You can go to nourishmysoulretreats.org, and you can use code Crystal for 25% off tickets. Or you can enter the contest for $10. John, I'll call you after I get off of my Zoom. I love you. You can enter the contest for $10. You can enter a million times if you want to win a chance to come with us to the retreat, fully paid for. You would only have to pay for your flight. So you can go to nourishmysoulretreats.org and come to our retreat. Have an amazing Monday, and I will see you guys this week because I'm going to be on to be talking about a bunch of different stuff.